just get so numb from the fear of missing out. And you think those likes mean love. It'll never be enough. No, petty hearts don't bleed. All they do is beat to the march of desperate feet. Oh, imagine if we stay true to the realer side of you. 'Cause all I wanna do, I just wanna be authentic. I just wanna be authentic. I just wanna be authentic. You do you, I'ma do me. Authentic. The mirrors and the smoke will only make you choke. I will just stay woke in a world so delusional. No, petty hearts don't bleed. All they do is beat to the march of desperate feet. Oh, imagine if we stay true to the realer side of you. 'Cause all I wanna do, I just wanna be authentic. I just wanna be authentic. I just wanna be authentic. You do you, I'ma do me. Authentic.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Chris, ready to rock and roll. Today's show you're going to like because we're getting out from under. We're getting out from under the rock, and we're going to talk business. We're going to talk about different stages, different types of businesses as she reaches for a magic wand. I'm going to get mine too because, I'm going to get a machete in here because
Which ones today?
These flowers are tremendous.
These are beautiful. These are a week old. These are for OMG Flower Boutique.
You didn't have to say that.
What? No, I mean how beautiful they look. There'll be new ones
fresh
tomorrow.
On the set.
Every week, new ones tomorrow. We've got
These are-
Amy Reshevsky
As a
with
matter of
us.
fact, I tell you what I want to do. When he brings the new ones, if a not-for-profit calls, we would donate the flowers.
The old ones?
Well, the new ones.
What do you mean? The new ones are for her show.
After she finishes her show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Tomorrow we're doing a painting, a flower arrangement that's gonna look like my guest painting that's coming.
That one I probably put in the lobby, but anyway. You ladies don't make it easy.
Why?
I wanted to do something nice.
Do something nice, yes. On
Well,
Thursday.
You can't donate these. Maybe he'll do a donation for a not-for-profit.
Teddy, can you open the camera up over here for Amy and Mike, please? We'll see
Why
if she
would
does that.
Teddy do it?
Because Slick's on the board.
The camera's open.
But I think it's only in a one shot.
Got my jail cell out.
Ah, perfect. Even better.
Now the problem is can you see that, or is the flowers?
I see it.
Remove the
No, it's
flowers, put them
perfect.
down? You sure?
It's perfect.
Perfect. Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah,
we
I
got
know
it.
what she's talking about. Don't listen to her. Listen, I wanted to do today something a little bit different because the bazooka is in the house.
Why do you call him Bazooka?
Because this guy is deadly. This guy, everything he talks about, I gotta tell you
I
something.
know. I don't know how you have all this information. It's amazing. Did you ever know any of this, Amy?
No.
We've got Michael Makia in the house, our Bitcoin master.
Thank you.
And a
Hi.
couple of weeks
The
ago,
Bitcoin master.
more than a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, we talked about, and I thought that getting into the Bitcoin, now I can't stop doing this. My son has gone crazy with his friends of mine in New York have gone crazy with this thing. And you were right, and I hate it when people are right. But man, you were right. The numbers have gone up on this thing. And I said to him today, should I sell? He says, what do you, buy more.
As high as it was when we bought it, it's higher now. I buy a little bit every week.
You do?
Yeah, every
You know,
Saturday.
you and me, we have a failure of communication.
Every Saturday, it's either like a little bit, either $50 or $100, like a little bit.
It's good.
$50, $100. Oh, you know, I don't
That's a
wanna say
little
that.
bit.
It
It's not like
is?
I'm buying 1,000 a week or 10,000 a week. It's a little bit. It's
$100
It
a
all
week
adds
is
up.
it all adds up. $100 a week
I
is
could
like
shed tears of joy. It's like watching one of my proteges grow, blossom.
good. You know, I'm very upset because I did not do that. I'll be the first to admit I did not do that. I was scared to death. And I should have, because I would have been probably as well off. You remember, there's a psychic that came in here and said you were going to hit lotto. And now I find out you're doing Bitcoin every week. And here comes lotto.
yeah, but it's a little bit here and there. But the return, it's more than like you can even see in the stock market. It's like 20, 30%
All right,
on some
stop
days.
It, stop it. My chest is
20.
hurting.
I mean,
My heart
on a
is
little bit of
beating
on
out of my
$100,
chest.
it's not a lot of money. But if you look at, if you actually invested a lot of money,
If you invested $100 from the last time you were here, you're up over $500 because it was about 5 weeks ago that we saw him.
no, I'm not up that much.
Well, I'd like to see the numbers. 'cause-
Okay.
But that's why I call him Mike the Bazooka. Because I'm going to tell you, Mike's information has been dead on center. And I told him, everybody watched the last show you were on, everybody up in New York is doing this Bitcoin thing now. You've opened the door that it's okay to do it. You know, it used to be taboo.
Correct.
And people would stay away from it because they heard some stupid story that told them don't do it. It's like you were telling Amy about the art and everything else, and we're going to talk about that. But I want you to get a pen and a piece of paper if you're watching and you're not in this particular realm.
But understanding that it's not a guarantee like anything else. It goes up, it comes down, it fluctuates. It's an investment.
This is a more solid investment than getting married.
He's very anti-marriage these
No,
days.
I'm not
great.
anti anything. I'm talking about chance. You get married, would you say it's 50-50? Or you're going to say 80-20?
But I want to ask you, because Teddy was telling us yesterday about Litecoin. And she said her Litecoin's doing really well. So what is Litecoin versus Bitcoin?
It's another coin. Litecoin was originally what's called a fork. It was a split from Bitcoin. They cloned Bitcoin's code and they made Litecoin. And the original creator of Litecoin, when he did code it though, he made some subtle changes. He made it much faster, and also he created a higher supply cap because he said that he foresaw years ago Bitcoin being this obscene price, and he wanted Litecoin to be more of like the people's coin and a little more practical for payment use. So you can kind of think of Litecoin as if Bitcoin's gold, Litecoin's silver. It's kind of like Bitcoin's little brother. If you do think that Bitcoin is too high of a price, you can get into Litecoin as well. So it's a great coin. I have a lot of Litecoin as well. I don't plan on selling my Bitcoin. I think it's too precious. But so Litecoin, I think at some point in the future, you know, maybe 10 years from now, you go to Honda dealership and say, yeah, you know, I'm going to put a down payment on this car and I'll send you 5 Litecoin.
Wow.
Why would I do that with Bitcoin? Because when it's so valuable.
Well, let me ask you, old school.
Amy, do you know what Litecoin and Bitcoin is?
Nope.
We have to
There's-
rewind a
hold
little
on,
bit
hold on.
so we don't lose Amy in this
But I'm
conversation.
going to forget this question, but we'll bring Amy in a second because there's a whole segment of her paintings that we're going to talk about in a second. But I wanted to ask you, do you jump around different coins or do you just buy into as many as you can?
I do. Now, just to kind of preface, you know, I suggest when someone new gets into this that they just stick with like the main large cap, you know, coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, some other coins that are the top 10 coins. You can go on a website called coinmarketcap.com. It ranks all the top coins by market cap. You know, how much money is in the market. I mess with these smaller coins. I've been in this a really long time. I've gotten scammed before. It's still very unregulated. I do an immense amount of research before I get into some of these smaller, riskier coins. If I am right on one of them, I profit take on that. I don't hold them long term, so I hold the better, bigger, more coins that have had withstood a longer test of time in this new market. I hold those for the long haul, and these smaller coins, you know, I'll kind of mess around and trade them and gamble.
It's funny.
Interesting.
It's funny because, and then we'll get to Amy. My son, I explained to him about the show, and he saw the show, and all of a sudden he introduced me to Webull, the account. It's one account.
Okay.
And they give you free stuff if you join and you recommend somebody. So he really did it because he wanted me, but I didn't do it. I didn't open it yet because I wanted to see what it was all about. And I cannot believe how educated Gio is in this whole Bitcoin thing. And he never said anything to me. If he had said something to me when we started 12 years ago, maybe today I would be like the bazooka over there, wheeling and dealing, you know what I'm saying?
The millennials are always on top
Oh my
of
God.
the new technology progression. They are on it.
They know this thing like the inside and out. So, but I tell him to be careful because all of a sudden, he's a day trader, he tells me.
Oh, yeah.
When the hell is he a day
Everyone.
trader?
Well, you buy, you sell it. It's easy on this because the apps make it really easy.
Yeah, but you got to be also careful. You got to do your research. You got to do your homework.
Well, let's bring Amy into the conversation.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Amy's here.
Amy's here. Amy, I just have
I
to
love your
thank you
hair, by the
because
way.
Oh, thanks.
thank you for bringing in this lovely glass of wine, bottle of wine from Guy La Ferrera,
Yeah, it's really good.
part of Guy's collection.
It was a
So
great lunch.
it was a great lunch. More to come with it. You notice I ate before we drank because I learned last week when Jay's nephew was on and
Oh
we
my
went
gosh.
through a
Yeah.
few tastings. You saw me almost fall off the stage.
That was 8 glasses later.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with one and we're good to go. I had
It
my
tastes
fruit
like-
and we're good. But let's bring her in because I had seen, we talked about it either this week or last week, that I saw people are buying, we talked about music, the digital music, and they're buying it with crypto. So basically, you're buying digital with digital, but then there's nothing tangible here. So at least what you were talking about with Amy, there's something tangible because then there is
I get it.
a digital something, but if it's not printed out, then it's not
Yeah, what do you do with it?
right. So tell us what you were thinking about.
I know it's hard to wrap your head around. Yeah, it's a new concept. It's called NFTs, which stands for non-fungible token. It's not meant to be exchanged as a means of currency or anything like that. It's a non-fungible token. But artists are doing it, music artists, artists like Amy. They're making a painting or songs or content, and they're transforming it graphically and digitalizing it, and they're putting it on a decentralized blockchain, and they're selling it. And in this digital world we live in, it's much easier to sell your artwork digitally on the internet than it is to store it, in a warehouse like this and somehow get a buyer and sell it and send it to them. And so it's just, it's the next step in.
Okay, but hold on. Let's assume that this bad boy here becomes a digital footprint,
Yeah.
for lack of a better terminology.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes on a market and they buy. Are they buying the print or are they buying the digital?
They're
print?
buying, they're buying the digital,
Original.
they're buying the digital original.
The digital is
Yes,
not
the digital
physical.
original.
Correct.
So I have now a picture, is what you're telling me. Digital picture?
Correct. Yeah, I know. Again, it's hard for even me to wrap my head around, and this is like a completely new sector
Yep.
No,
in
no,
this
it's
space.
not that hard. Hold on.
Okay.
If let's say I have a commercial, I want to put her background as part of the commercial in our digital world. Or if I have a magazine, again, I can use this picture digitally. Digitally? Is that a word?
Digitally.
They're going for
Digitally.
millions. I mean, the price point is just.
There
But is
was
she
just a
allowed-
piece of art that sold for $69 million
But is she allowed
at
still
auction.
to sell
Christie's.
the physical picture?
Yeah.
Or does she have to
The
take
original.
it out of circulation?
Yeah, she wouldn't. The physical one would be
Out of circulation.
out of circulation.
This
You would
is
have
interesting.
you have to guarantee originality on it.
What if I wanted to do the digital and then sell the physical to the same person?
Okay, so that's where you could, but
You should.
so that's where there's a little, people are really finding it hard to wrap their head around. Is like, can the artist really guarantee that they're not going to replicate this painting?
Correct.
Absolutely.
So maybe in the future that will progress somehow. But I know, right now I've been keeping up with a lot of Mark Cuban, Gary Vaynerchuk, a lot of the guys that are into collectibles, trading cards. They're really big on this stuff. They see a big future in it because it can still give you that sense of pride and ownership that you have over a collectible. And you could store it securely digitally. And I guess at the end of the day, what's really the difference between having a painting hang on my wall in my house and just putting a monitor on my wall and putting it up?
Oh.
That's really interesting. The only problem I would have is that there are scrupulous people. What is the word?
Scrupulous?
Scrupulous. Who would then try to sell the same digital. I guess you could register the digital.
Well, when it is tokenized and put on a blockchain, decentralized, it's securely, yours. And
Well, you have the artisticity or
yeah, it's
authenticity on it, but-
authentically yours.
Yeah, but I just, like, for example, for that painting, there's nobody that can redo that. They can take a picture of it, but.
Well, you
it's
want to
just-
protect the investor that's buying
Right,
the digital.
right.
I get it.
And then my question here, number one, is where do you put the art so that people can see it? Is it like a centralized location?
It's stored. It's stored decentralized on a blockchain. The same way like Bitcoin's a decentralized blockchain, and you can tap into that. You could tap into the blockchain on the internet.
So
and
what
bring it
happens
up.
when you want to sell it?
When you want to sell
If
it,
you own the digital.
Yeah.
And you want to sell the digital,
yeah, there's exchanges online.
like an auction
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah, there's
Sign me up.
exchanges,
Imagine,
apps, and websites that do this. And now, actually, it's crazy. People are starting to sell their tweets. So Jack Dorsey, the owner of Twitter, he just sold his first ever tweet when Twitter launched for $2 million. And don't get me wrong, I actually trolled a little bit on Twitter, and I just took a screenshot of it on my phone, and I said, you just spent $2 million on it, and I just took a screenshot. What's up?
Yeah.
And I was kind of making fun of it. But at the end of the day, that tweet is one of a kind. He digitalized it, and it sold for $2 million. And to that person that bought it, it was worth that. And maybe one day he'll sell it for $10 million.
You know
Amazing.
something? That's my future.
What are you selling?
Because I said, companies have come in here and said, we saw what you tweeted. And it was really strange because I don't tweet words. I sort of tweet a phrase like it's coming or this explodes in my face or it's just the most ridiculous
Or get
tweets
your
in the
gubba
world.
on?
Or get your gubba on. Have you started your gubba? Have you turned on your lost, is your lost spirit found? Things of that nature. I don't tweet words. I tweet messages. I think I got $1 million right there.
There you have
People
it.
laugh. This guy sold his for $2 million.
Amy, can you imagine?
I'll try anything.
You know,
Yeah,
and
that
it's
would be
very
really
because
interesting.
I know that you have a ton of other pieces.
She's got more to bring in. And I said to her, which is funny you said that. She goes, oh, I've got another big piece coming in. I looked and I said, well, we got to get that one up and that one up. And where are we going to put it? She
But
said, we got to
maybe-
put it up in
maybe what we
storage.
do is we do a digital gallery separate from the rest.
Yeah, you know, that's really important because we take these pictures and then we know what we have, because if they go up into our storage and we put new things up, those things could stay there forever because nobody knows they're up
Well, we'll
there.
have to get a vault because once you sold
A
it
vault.
digital, you want to get it out of circulation.
Yeah.
You want to protect your buyer.
Oh, absolutely. All right.
You know, I think that
So
the
Bazooka's
contest
going to
thing-
help us, right?
Yeah, I'll try.
Michael Mackey, he's like the new guy.
This is
to all
such
of
a
us.
new sector, and like for real, it's like hard. It's really hard for me to wrap my head around. I need to do a little more research on it myself as
We could
well.
do a sample and see how it goes.
But I would implore anybody that's watching, you know, if you can Google NFTs, maybe watch some videos on YouTube of Gary Vaynerchuk breaking it down better than I will.
I'd love to
And
do
you
that.
can get a good basic understanding of it.
You know, it's the beginning of trying something different, whether it's music or art or things of that nature, because, you know, the whole theme of today's show is you're going to get out of the rock, out from underneath the rock, and you're going to see the sunlight, and you're going to start doing business again. And sometimes you got to be a little bit smart about what you want to do. You want to invest correctly. You want to step on the right stones when you're going up the ladder and everything else. And this could be a whole different deal of something. You take high-def pictures of these. I'm assuming that's the way to go with this thing.
You know, when the internet first came out and email,
Right.
there's YouTube videos of CNN anchors laughing about it, and you know, and it's just like it's hard when something first comes out and,
Right.
and starts to
absorb it,
adopt.
Yeah.
Well, they were laughing about this buying digital music with digital crypto. And what's interesting, and it makes me think of the city that we live in, this town, why do you buy things that you can't show to your friends? And I wanted to call into them and say, do you only buy things that you can show off to your friends, or do you buy things and invest because it's of value to you? It doesn't matter what you think of it if it's something to me. And they're in this national show saying, well, how do you show your friends? And I thought, well, why are we doing this? Do we do this to impress other people, or do we do what we do for ourselves?
I will make
which is
the-
a whole nother story.
Yeah, but I will make the monitor that looks like that will put your digital print up. And then,
Yeah.
you know, on my computer, that little card will hold the digital. It's a little computer. And it will do anything you want on your print. It will tell a story. It will, and then the print comes up. It will change the print. This thing could open up into something, because we used to use that technology in offices. So if you wanted to have your show in your office, we were able to do that remotely. So it stored it in there.
But how cool to buy. Imagine if someone gave you $60 million or $69 million in cryptocurrency, and you go, I don't even know what
Well,
cryptocurrency
you heard about
is.
you heard about it before I.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's why you're buying digital with digital. There's no tangible transaction whatsoever. It's all on these chains.
And that was at a Christie's auction, so that was at a really bona fide, legitimate place, you know.
69 million.
In
If the-
crypto to
if the crypto
digital.
goes up $10 the next day and you sell it, you're out.
Yeah, personally, I would have rather buy $69 million worth of Bitcoin over a piece of digital art, but to that person that bought it,
Right.
it was worth it for them.
It's interesting.
But even in 20, that was what I was going to ask you. If I buy something, because I know in New York they used to say, hey, but I accept Bitcoin. So let's say that I go in there and I buy something on Bitcoin. I'm getting the merchandise, and I transfer ownership of the Bitcoin to the merchant. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, there are merchants that take, you know, Bitcoin and crypto payments. Most of them, though, they're using apps that, you know, immediately, if I bring up, you know, my Bitcoin wallet, and I transfer it to the merchant, it's immediately getting, sorry, I need more coffee. It's immediately getting exchanged into US dollars, though, for the merchant. Crypto's not at that place yet because it's still so volatile. It's still not really practical, in my opinion, just for payments. Because 10 minutes later, the market could go down. And at the end of the day, you're a business owner. You have a certain inventory that you need to be profitable at a certain rate. So you can't really afford, you know what I'm saying, to
Hold on,
take the
hold on,
payment in
Bazooka, hold
Bitcoin in
on a
case the market
second.
goes down
But
later.
that's what if he's taking the purchase. I mean, I went to the store and the guy says I accept Bitcoin.
He might leave it in Bitcoin.
Whatever he does, I don't care.
Sure.
I get the bread, the ham and cheese I bought, and I leave the store. Right?
Correct.
So good luck to him.
Yeah.
Now, if it explodes, he's gonna call me up and say thank you very much.
Right.
If it goes down, he just holds on because in your experience, you see how it keeps going up.
Yeah.
So there you have it. But is that the way it works? It exchanges in cash, and then he has the option of buying Bitcoin or
Correct.
taking the cash.
Well, yeah, when you transfer the Bitcoin to him, he can keep it in Bitcoin or he could sell it into US dollars. That's up to him. In my opinion, if as a business owner, I would prefer to sell it into US dollars because I know I have to maintain a certain profitability for the item I'm selling.
Right.
And also to the person making the purchase, he might be unable to get a bank account and have a debit card, so to him, paying in Bitcoin, it helps him be more practical to, make purchases.
Well, if somebody says I accept Bitcoin and I make a deal, I'm thinking, because I'm the buyer, I'm making a great deal. I'm getting something physical. And God bless America, if it goes up and down, the guy is willing to take that risk. Now, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. This guy must know something about the market, and maybe he's doing some other transactions with the extra Bitcoin, right? I mean, sometimes you don't really know what's going on that side. But I like the aspect of I'm going to buy this with Bitcoin, and I'm walking out.
You know
with
what
it.
I like the aspect of is that I can go in and I can buy. Amy, we talked about this before. That you can buy fractions
Yeah.
and you can do it on your own. It's not. You can do as much money as you want. You can do little bits, a fraction here and there, $50 here and there. You may not miss a week. It may be your nails. It may be just an extra
So
50.
is it like a savings account that you can spend?
I'm going to let Michael answer that.
Yeah, so Bitcoin it's a decentralized asset. It's a decentralized currency. And so there's no government, bank, third party that can,
Touch it.
be an intermediary or be involved in it whatsoever. It's a direct peer-to-peer transfer. And now, yeah, it's becoming where it used to be like just magic internet money that people transferred around on the internet. It's becoming a true asset class and store of value and digital gold. And you can think of it, you could buy Amazon stock for $3,000, and you could buy some Bitcoin for $3,000.
But you can use the Bitcoin
Correct.
as cash.
Yes, if you wanted to,
Okay.
As the value keeps going up,
Right.
more people are, they don't want to spend it. It's
Right.
becoming very precious. But yeah, you can keep some money in cash. You can keep some money in Bitcoin. Right now, I think what we're seeing worldwide and in the United States, Wall Street especially, they've been craving something like this. They've been craving something that is uncorrelated and asymmetric to traditional investment vehicles. Something that has no correlation to gold, stocks, doesn't matter, up, down, sideways. Bitcoin does its own thing, has a mind of its own. And they've been seeking an investment vehicle like that, and it's here. And a lot of companies are getting in it. A lot of retail investors are getting into it. I think we're seeing the government print and bail out, just foolish, irresponsible amounts of money. And people are looking to Bitcoin as a safe haven investment, something that isn't inflationary.
Well, the funny thing here is that the stock market has certain guidelines and rules and regulations. There's a new guy coming into the stock market, which everybody is afraid of, because this person is going to be very strict on the policies. But that being said, Bitcoin explodes, and it's these pocket of explodes that it's just very difficult to put your hand around it. My son called me on a Saturday and says, "Hey, Dad, I made $524 today in Bitcoin," and he sold it. I said, "Okay, good. This was Gio. If he had stayed in today, he probably would have made $3,000."
Well, it's the same
So-
thing with the stock. You never know when it
It is,
buy or
but it
sell.
isn't, because there's no regulation.
Yeah.
In other words,
up
nobody
to
can
you.
tell you what a Bitcoin is going to be worth tomorrow. So in the day, they used to say, don't do Bitcoin because it's not regulated. Because all they knew was regulation. But if you look at the stock market at 32,000 on the clicker, I remember when the stock market was 8,000 on the clicker. These are blue stocks. These are chippers. It doesn't mean that the market in a whole, these are like 320 stocks or something, that they measure the whole pulse on this thing. At 8,000 on the clicker to 32,000 today, if you had taken and bought $1,000 a month in stock, you'd be a very wealthy person today. But between 2000 and today, 1992 maybe, you would have taken your lumps. Remember when the bubble burst and everything crashed? And, people were throwing themselves out the window because it went down to 14 or 12,000 on the clicker, and then now it's at 32,000. And I look at this, so now they talk about there's got to be some kind of fix. You can't keep a market going at this volatility because it burns up. So yesterday it went up again. Today I think it's going up again. When is it going to come down? Bitcoin doesn't work that way. It has different deals and there's no regulation
Is
to
the
it.
more people that invest in Bitcoin is the number, how it
Where would you
fluctuates?
put your money? In the downward spiral of a stock market? When the Bitcoin goes in this way, the stimulus check, do you put it in the Bitcoin?
What Michael said was interesting before we came on air, that last year when everyone got the 1,200 stimulus check,
Yeah.
one of the cryptos, I don't want to mess it up, what did you tell us?
Yeah, one of the cryptocurrency exchange similar to Gemini, it's called Coinbase. They saw a record number of exact $1,200 buys,
Wow.
Which was the stimulus check.
Yep, isn't that interesting?
So they may
which
be
are worth
saying,
$11,000. So
well, if I get a
Oh my
14,
goodness.
I
Wow.
still.
yeah,
If
Seriously?
yeah.
Wow.
If I get a 1,400, they're going to see a bump in Bitcoin at the $1,400 mark because what do you do with your money? If you put it in a bank, you get nothing.
Not anymore.
You get nothing. And the bottom line here is, would you rather have your money just sit there and do nothing or take a chance? Now, you don't want to go to Vegas, right? Because Vegas, I got to tell you,
lose anyway.
80% of the time the
Yeah.
house wins in Vegas.
Oof.
I don't care what you say. The house wins in Vegas.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be there.
Of course.
So do you put it in Bitcoin when you have a fighting chance? I look at him and I get nervous. I go, yo,
I mean,
man.
dude, listen, I am crazy. Like I am very staunch. I'm very passionate. Like I believe in it. If you looked at my finances, like my accountant thinks I'm a moron. Okay, like if you look at my finances, like it's absurd. Like I have like 90% of my net worth and liquid net worth in crypto and stocks, and like 10% in cash in the bank. And that just seems completely ludicrous. But
You have a lot of
it's-
trust in that.
I believe in it, you know.
You know, my father used to say that he believed in the shovel and pick theory. So you took cash, you put it in a plastic bag, you dug a hole in the backyard with the shovel and the pick, and you put the money in there. Problem was, when the grass grew back, you couldn't find it. That was always an issue. But short of
and
that,
it's not growing.
but short of that, you want to put your money where it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'll never forget, 6 years ago, there was this company called Facebook. And we were doing shows at iHeart. And somebody came in here and says, why don't we put the show on Facebook? And I said, what the hell is a Facebook?
Because I remember I couldn't, he would sell shows and he says, and you can find that where? I could never find
On
the
a website.
shows
On a website.
on a website.
So I called Facebook, and I didn't call, I wrote to them, and I baited for them because they were coming out with this new thing called live streaming. Now, we have been doing it for 3 years.
But
already.
I called your son, and your son says, well, of course we can. We've got this many inputs. We can do it.
And I didn't know what the hell they were talking
And by the
about.
next day, he had changed whatever he needed to change, and there we were. And from that, we were able to
And now
live
we
stream out to everything, to
restream
restream to
20
everything
different
else.
places, yeah.
Link it
But
all
it's
together.
funny.
But
at
it's the millennial
beginning-
mind.
But at the beginning, I thought this one was nuts. She was smoking the glue or something because it's a Facebook. Why Facebook? And here you have it. That's the concept. In the beginning, when they said Bitcoin, everybody ran the other way, except guys like him who stood in the fight. Now, congratulations. He should make all of these monies because he's been through the wars. He's been there, and he's not leaving. He believes in the product.
Well, will they ever regulate it?
Well, yeah, no, it's a great question. Over the last few years, actually, there has been a huge push for healthy regulation in terms of taxes, like the New York State FINRA or something, the New York State Financial Watchdog, CFTC, SEC.
They want to regulate.
There has been healthy regulation to make sure that the exchanges are reporting volume correctly, not triggering any type of pump and dumps. The beauty, again, of Bitcoin is that it's decentralized. There's no intermediary that can interfere with your money. But, in terms of storing it or using it, there is some healthy regulation, which is a good thing. Years ago, it was just the absolute Wild West. So you can have some peace of mind knowing that the government is starting to regulate it in a healthy way.
What about taxes?
Yeah, taxes is
gotta
subject
pay.
under 12 months if you're going to trade in and out of it, like your crazy son who thinks he's a day trader.
He has to keep a ledger
Oh, yeah.
because he's got to pay.
If you
capital
trade in
gains.
and out of it, it's subject to capital gains tax,
Yeah.
38%. If you hold under 12 months, if you hold over 12 months, subject to capital gains tax, 21%. No different than stocks,
Than
real estate,
anything
etc. To touch on one thing that you were talking about earlier. In my opinion, with the stock market right now, and it's funny, I just tweeted this morning and posted on my Facebook. I think that the government has essentially said bear markets and stock market corrections are banned. That's what they have basically said. Every time the stock market goes down, the last year, they pump more money into it. And it's not natural. It's natural for free markets to experience highs and lows and corrections and bear cycles. And every time the stock market goes down, the government pumps a bunch of money into it. It's just not natural. And Bitcoin didn't need a bailout. People are consciously choosing to opt out of this system corrupted by the government and to opt in to a decentralized asset class.
It's great that you point that out because this has a lot to do with the second part of the show that I wanted to talk about, which is courage.
You want to go to commercial break?
Commercial break.
Okay.
We haven't been in a while since we started the show. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with Michael Macchia, Amy Reshevsky. I think we've got Coach April joining us at 1 o'clock. We may have Uganda coming on. I don't know who else you got. Kendra, Erica coming
Everybody's
in.
coming.
So
Oof,
more to come.
house.
Stay tuned. Give us a call. 888-994-4995.
Specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact AMP Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
University and this Bitcoiner on Twitter. And he was talking about how Bitcoin.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits. Treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. We invite you to join us on our journey inspired by the undiscovered Spanish fleets lost in the 1600s, the treasures that have been buried with them, and of course, the lost harbors that remain abandoned on the foggy coasts of Florida. Proudly distilling in West Palm Beach, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered.
You know, but and then of course, food and gas prices aren't factored into the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. Oh, that's great. You know, two major indicators of inflation aren't factored into the CPI. You know, I have a friend that lives in Canada.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
There are some in America. People that live there. It's unreal.
And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
Listen, real quick, I want to say this portion of the show is brought to you by two new sponsors. We got Maria, Manscaping Massage. Now, this is the male side of what Maria does. There's a female side of what
Yes,
she does
it's called
as well.
spafacial.com. So there's a whole female
you get
side,
this one.
skincare,
you get that
massage, the lady side of what we do, the clean, softer, fresh smelling side of what we do. And then you got the,
Excuse you. Excuse you. What do you mean clean, softer?
you know, the soft, clean
Manscaping. You know what
smelling.
they say? When you manscape, you're smooth as a baby's bottom, baby.
I feel like it's the battle of the sexes here.
Oh, it's going to get worse because we're also going to have Guy involved with us soon on the man's side, clothing and the whole nine.
We got a Michael Macchio over there also. It's a Guy La Ferreira's.
Yes.
It's a male clothing store.
And I'm going to tell you,
Right?
this clothing store over on St. Andrews, unbelievable place. I'm going to tell you, you go there, he'll have a party for investors for you there. You know that seminar thing we were talking about?
Tomorrow night, wine night. There. You should go with me.
Oh, he has a wine. He has a wine night.
Tomorrow night.
You should go with Amy.
It's funny. He didn't tell me that.
He only wants Amy, apparently.
Oh, you know what is this? A private wine? Diane?
No. Anybody can go, but it's he's got a new winery that he's got people in town for. So he always sends me a message. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. The bazooka in the house. When the bazooka walks in the room, remember that commercial, E.F. Hutton? When E.F. Hutton talks, everybody goes.
Oh my gosh. You know, after the last show, everyone was out opening Gemini accounts.
And we're
Love
gonna-
it.
Come on. Come on.
Kendra Erica in the house.
And yes, and that bottom that you saw walk across was Kendra's. And the other part of our deal is the Artful Dodger. Friend of the Brooklyn Cafe, Artful Dodger, is going to be in the house on March 20th.
Actually, you're going to be in their house on
Yes, I'm
March
gonna be in their
26th. I've got Fem City Boca Del Rey in our house
Yep.
doing a cocktail making class sponsored by Lost Harbor Spirits. We're going to be making 2 drinks. Amy's going to be in Cleveland,
Are you
so
having entertainment that night?
me, no
Are you
entertainment.
having a singer or something?
I wasn't planning on it.
Well, if you don't do it, I'm going to ask my friend over there, Kendra, to sing at the Dodger if you don't take advantage.
So we're going to have the ladies in here, and you're going to have the guys over at Mind of the Mail over at the Artful Dodger.
I know, I got to take the bazooka with me because he's E.F. Hutton.
I got to tell you, isn't it amazing? Everyone listens to what you have to say.
That's pretty cool.
You know about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, Kendra?
I dabble.
Ah, there you go.
Oh,
It's
you
a
dabble
millennial
too? Are you a
thing.
dabbler?
That's what I say about anything that I don't know jack shit about.
Oh.
I love that. I have to learn that. I
That's a good
dabble.
answer.
She dabbles.
I need to stay as far away from Bitcoin as possible because a Bitcoin hacker stole my Instagram a couple years ago. Really? So yeah, anything to deal with Bitcoin, I have PSD.
Wow.
PTSD. Yeah.
Wow.
Michael can help you overcome that PTSD, at least to get comfortable with the word again.
He's actually shown us, educated us the last few weeks, and people that have been watching the show have joined. Everybody's been very, very happy. And it's nice to have you back on an up note, because ever since you came the last time, it's gone up.
You wanted to talk about courage.
And my friend over here has secretly been buying Bitcoin on the weekends, which I had no idea.
You know, when you're sitting around and a few minutes to yourself, you're like,
And you go
oh,
like
yeah.
this. You go like this, and you're buying stuff.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
I'm glad the bazooka's in the house, and I usually told him.
So are you the wolf of Bitcoin or something?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay.
He's the
He's
master.
the lion.
The Bitcoin master. He educates to help you learn what it is. He's given us a whole education on what it is.
Well, he gives
and
you an
Teddy.
option, yes. He doesn't tell you to do it. He just gives you an option, the ups and the downs of this thing, and it's done. And we were just about to talk about courage, because when the stock market went down in the dump and the President Obama came along, he told Wall Street, stop using the word bubble burst. Talk about it's going to be okay. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And sometimes it's the words that you use out perception is really where the courage lies. Stocks dumping and you dumping out of the market make it worse, and it makes it worse for you.
But there's so many things about courage, and I can't think of anyone who walks in better on courage than Kendra, because your music gets better and better. Holy cow, we thank you for allowing us to use it and play it.
Absolutely.
But amazing. That last, was it Love and Hope?
Song of Hope, yeah.
Song of Hope. Oh my gosh, I wake up with it in my head every
I got
morning.
to talk to you about this song.
Oh, that's so nice.
The song is an amazing song, and it should be out in other places. And the reason I asked you to come down, the wives of the presidents are putting together a video. I don't know if you've seen it. It talks about courage, again, Amy, courage, about getting the shot. And the four wives, they call them the four wise wives, are talking about not to be afraid because it gives you hope and courage to take the shot, and they're trying to do a whole positive thing on this thing. So I heard your song one day at 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to it, and I called some people on the radio, and I said, this song has got to get out there. If there is nothing else you've ever done, and we've been playing your tracks
every
all week
morning.
long, and we're playing this track, and this track, if you hear the words that you did, and I want to talk to you about how you put this whole thing together, but those words right now are ringing true. And it's an amazing aspect of how things happen, okay? And Michael, this is about sometimes coincidence happens for a reason. And your song right now is amazing. It is giving people something to hold on to. You know, this $1,400 check is going to evaporate in about 24 hours when I get it in my hand because all the bills and everything else. But hope doesn't. And it's this encouragement
It's priceless.
of the words. It's priceless. And the president's wives have a huge following. Michelle's involved. Whatchamacallit, the one that lost the presidency is involved. All of them. The Bushes, they're all involved. And I'm sending it to the White House via some friends of mine who have some political connections to see if they will use that song in the video. That's how impressed I am.
I hope that's okay with you.
Well, I haven't done it because I haven't seen you.
We had to get your okay.
Where do I get your okay to do this?
I got to hear it now.
But we'll play it. We'll play it. You know what? We'll
Commercial.
play it. But your song, I don't know, maybe because you're around it every day, but your song has touched so many lives.
But let's ask her, what inspired you to write that song?
Well, okay, so this Song of Hope was the first song that I did remotely, because when everything shut down, all my travel schedule halted. So I was able to still write this song with Charlie Midnight, who lives in Los Angeles, and we did it via Zoom. But the initial goal or message was to just give people hope, because we were in hazy and scaly times as far as the pandemic goes. But as the year progressed and went on, a lot of other issues came to the surface, like human trafficking, and education for young people, and making sure that they continue on with their education, because schools were closed, and also in the midst of a battle against globalism. There's a lot of war happening within certain countries, and so I was able to, and I don't want to say like I was able to, but the universe manifested a partnership with War Child, which is an organization that helps children gain opportunities to progress in their lives, and it also prevents with human trafficking, and with giving them that sense of hope as far as creating a future for themselves.
Are you working with that organization in this song?
So, well, each view for the music video, portions of the proceeds go to War Child.
Wow.
So.
And I didn't even know this. I don't know anything about the history of this video. The only thing I know is that when I saw what they're doing at the White House, because a lot of people are saying no to the shot for whatever reason, right, wrong, and different makes no difference, but they're saying no, and other people don't have the information to make that decision. We talked about this, Hispanics, my Latino community, they don't even know what's going on. So we are putting together a whole news thing on Fridays to educate people, and we're reaching other states and agencies. Oklahoma happens to be one, that we're asking people to educate people that don't speak English so that we can get this thing done. Then I find out today the 7-month-old, 6-month-old children are now becoming part of the study. So what better platform to have than the 4 wives of the 4 presidents get together and put together a song or a message, and with your song playing in the background. I cannot think of anything better, because hope is something that you need every day. And I don't care who you are. You could be Godzilla for all I care. And you need hope. You need something to hold on to, and your song does that.
You wrote the music and the lyrics?
Yeah, I would think her song has passion and purpose, and she's on the right mission so her song absorbs everything.
It does.
So it's really important that you did have the passion to achieve what you were going for, and then you got your purpose. So I think it all comes full circle with what she's
Hey, Snip, do me a favor, cue it up so we can play it so Mike can hear it. But
I know, I'm like, the
No,
anticipation.
Song of Hope that we play on the morning show.
Song of Hope.
Relax.
I feel like I'm missing out on
Well, you know something, it's
crypto.
funny
Hear it
because
in the
I had a producer come in here and I spoke to him this morning because I hadn't seen Kendra yet, and I wanted to talk to her and make sure that everything is on the up and up on this thing, because I'm not looking for money on selling the song. It's not why I'm doing it. What I'm looking for is the inspiration, and again, getting back to your
Passion and
question
purpose.
about courage, and there it is.
Yep.
And when you see this thing blew me away when I first heard it. It blew me away the second time I heard it. I see what's going on in the Capitol. I see the good, bad, and the ugly of what's going on in this country. And you know something? It's nice and refreshing to be able to wait for 2 minutes. I think the song is 2 minutes to say, you know what? Tomorrow is going to be okay.
And we've got
It's a very neutral type song, where
And then we'll come back to
the message is for all sides of the aisle. So
You wrote the song. Did you do the lyrics and the music, or in collaboration with?
a collaboration, but I do own the song. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so
It's amazing. The video, all of it. Take a look at this.
Let's put it on.
There was a noise from somewhere deep. We heard the sound, it was bittersweet. Voices calling out from an aching heart. getting so much closer by staying apart, singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You hurt when I hurt, I feel what you feel. We will survive, we will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. The streets are empty, but the sky is clear. You want somebody and can't have them near, taking shelter where you can when the world is at stake. Alone together, trying hard not to break, singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You hurt when I hurt, I feel what you feel. We will survive, we will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. A song for the lonely, the tired and the weary. A song for the broken, the mighty. Can you hear me? Get beyond our pride and greed, share everything that we need. We won't be ignored. We will be restored. Singing song of hope and love that will heal. You hurt when I hurt, I feel what you feel. We will survive, we will stay strong, 'cause love is the word, and hope is the song.
The words, the passion, all of it. Mom, what do you think when you watch it?
I cry every time.
Every time.
I just know her journey and how long she's worked, and each song gets better and better, and she produces these masterpieces, and we just need the right people to see it. I mean, this video has over 540,000 views already. It's got phenomenal comments, great response, but we need to get it viral somehow.
It has to go. And I'm gonna tell you, Mom, not for nothing, but it makes me cry too. That's why I left her. That's why I left.
That video.
That's why I had to go. It does. It touches the soul, that particular piece.
Correct.
If you're a real believer in humans, in what we do, and you don't look at the ugly of what we do to each other, that song touches home. For me, anyway. For me.
Yeah, and it can. Anybody that's ill can relate to this, or that's going through some treatment, or anything negative. This song,
It's very
is
uplifting.
appropriate for.
It's very uplifting.
What do you think?
I loved it. Yeah, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
a great
you.
song.
Yeah. The song's great. The video is unbelievable. Where did you shoot that?
Malibu and Topanga Canyon. So
Really incredible. I mean, every bit of it. We got to get it viral. We got to get it bigger.
We're working on it. And again, I made a phone call this morning. You heard me talk to Jeffrey, and he agreed. He said, and he's put people on radio and things in the past. And he says, this one, not only is it magical, but the timing of it is unpredictable. It's unreal. I can't believe that this has come along. And once it gets out there, it will become a runaway train. But your work has improved. We actually went back into the archives and pulled all your songs
oh
from the beginning.
boy,
From the beginning.
bubble gum and all.
We didn't
Honey,
do
that
bubble
was
gum.
Double spearmint. as they say. But we
Well, no,
saw-
I've gone from bubble gum and now I'm minty fresh. So, yeah,
But it's been a story of growth.
yeah.
You know, I remember we were at iHeart. We had Mom up there as well. And we started back then when? And then you took the picture recently at the Grammys. I thought, you fooled me. I thought you were at the Grammys.
That was
The
that was in
backdrop.
that was a couple years ago. Yeah.
And I saw that picture. I said, oh, she's at, this was on Sunday. I said,
Yep.
oh, look, you belong in the Grammys.
I
But-
believe in live music, not virtual music. So that's
well,
why.
Well, I don't know. I think that you have the pulses. A lot of things that you do, I've watched you progress. I've seen things come from you, and now, and we're producing music in here because we want to help artists get out from under and get noticed. We're using the paints. We're using the artists in their productions as well because, hey, listen, everybody wants a voice.
Could I use that in my Courage?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I think
Absolutely.
that would
That's one of
hit
the
a lot
things-
of different people tomorrow.
Well, this is why I asked her to come down because there are we do 51 other shows that people want
Yeah, I would love to have
use your music, and I don't know if we can. We need to talk to you about it and see where we go from there. But it encourages people. It's contagious,
that. And building the audience, too.
and that's what it's all about.
It's more infectious than this thing that's going around.
Then good.
You know, wouldn't it be better if we could spread more love and hope instead of all the politics and all the negativity and all the hunger? If we could actually shift over to this song and we spread that as viral as all of the other stuff is going, imagine what a better place we would live in. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
the bubble I live in.
keep on saying, even when SoFly came out, I'm like, why isn't the news playing my video? Like,
So Fly is great. I think we played that last week.
why isn't
SoFly.
the news reporting this?
Yeah, we have put that on. As a matter of fact, we have your friend Guy has somebody at Channel 12, and I want to talk to them as well. You know, there's different ways of using music. You can use it as an intro. You can use it as a filler on a movie, on a reality show. There are different ways of doing this, and I've been showing the kids because we put a piece together with Blake that's tremendous, and we've gotten some attention in California. Now, a lot of things have shut down. They're reopening slowly and surely, but placement of product is the most important thing in the world right now. But you got to have something to work with.
You gotta have hope and you gotta have faith.
You got to have the key words. And that song, you put both, which is amazing in that song, the way you carry it out. And the video's not too bad either.
Beautiful.
It packs a hopeful punch for sure.
It's amazing. How can people find your music?
On Spotify, YouTube. I'm on Facebook, Instagram at Kendra Erica. That's Erica with a K, so not with a C. I don't want to steer anybody down the wrong path. But you can find it on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. So and the video can be found wherever on my socials and on my Linktree, link in bio on Instagram.
Yes, we're working on a link tree also. And are you doing any live gigs yet?
What do I have coming up? I've been doing a lot of more intimate parties and events, but nothing too, massive right now because we're still in that reopening phase.
coming.
But
Little by little, it'll come. I
yeah,
think this is going to be, if not this year, next year is going to be your year. And I know I say that every time I see you, but I just got a good feel about this, man.
But
I
We're
you're-
at a
don't know
big
what it
turning
is.
point right
And
now.
Mom, you're right. Her music gets better and better. I had a friend, we have a mutual friend who was in here last week, and we were talking about your music, and she said her new pieces get better and better. I'm like, yeah.
And your stage
are.
presence has gotten better. Your pictures have gotten better. Your video work has gotten better. You know, when you do this every day, 7 days a week for the last 15 years, you sort of pick up on certain things, and it's gotten better.
But it's the message. This one, the message hits home to everybody. There's not one person that can't resonate with it somehow, some way. Mom, you must be so proud. I am. Amazing. Kendra,
Hey,
thank you so much for
And
sharing.
it's funny because when I come into this place, the first thing I do is I turn up the speakers. They'll tell you.
Yes, he found you on Spotify on Echo last week.
And I turn it up loud. I open this thing up, the whole block.
He said,
Wow.
Echo, play, Kendra Erica, and bam, we got all your music.
And I play it
Freddie
loud.
showing the love.
The paintings vibrate. It's funny because Israel comes over the first time I did. He said, "Are you okay?" I said, yes, but listen. You know, and God says He gave you 2 ears to listen more than the 1 mouth to talk less. Use these. Listen. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff going on around right now. Listen. Take it, give it a shot.
I got to tell you, you never know how things align in our shows today. And we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, then we've got Coach April joining us of Kingdom Power Living, and it's how she works with faith and hope to help you achieve your best self. More to come.
That's
Seems to be the message of the day.
That may be an interesting piece for you.
So stay tuned. We'll get Coach April joining us from Chicago, and we'll be right back.
48 Star Collectibles is your one-stop shop for all things memorabilia. They have movie posters, comic books, vinyl records, lobby cards, vintage televisions and radios, all in excellent condition. They even have autographed posters from some of your most popular film and artists. All of their products are guaranteed to be authentic and in excellent condition. Check out their website at 48starcollectibles.com to purchase the most authentic memorabilia around.
AskDearAbby.com. Dear Abby is a life coaching company that was founded by Abby Awutasu. At Dear Abby, we guide single people through the process of meeting, courting, and marrying their soulmates. We know that before you find true, meaningful, lasting love, you must first love and fully embrace your unique self, flaws and all. Contact us today at AskDearAbby.com for your personalized coaching session that will get you on the path to ultimately finding your soulmate. And follow Dear Abby on social media at Ask Dear Abby on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
In these changing times, it is more important than ever for women to invest in themselves and develop a network for business growth. Through FemCity Boca del Rey, you will become a member in a group of women whose goal is to help one another with advice, tips, and guidance to connect and engage with one another. For more information and discount pricing, log into bit.ly/Brooklyn Cafe Femmes or FemCity Boca del Rey for more information. FemCity is more than a women's networking group. It's business for your soul.
Stars International is a multicultural, open-format record label with multiple production services from recording to broadcasting. On the label side, we focus on developing artists and helping them achieve their goals. On the production side, we cover anything from recording and mixing your vocals to creating your master track. We also include distribution if needed, and we have full access to TV production and on-air services to help build and create the artist you want to be. We're a fully digital studio and plan on taking music theory to the next level.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
We are back at the Brooklyn Cafe. What an amazing song. What an amazing show of faith and hope, and how everything sort of wraps up just as you never know where it's going to be. Right this morning we were talking clothing, and here we are back on Faith and Hope. And we've got Kendra Erica with us. We've got her mom with us. We've got Amy Rashevsky, Mike Macchia, and all the way in Chicago, we've got Coach April of Kingdom Power Living. And I think this is a great segment to have Coach April share more of her story that you wanted to know so much more about.
Yes, where is she?
And there she is.
And there she is.
Hello there.
How are you, April?
I'm wonderful, and you?
We're
Almost
great.
as good as you.
How did you like, did you hear Kendra's song?
I did hear Kendra's song.
It's a perfect segue into everything that you do.
Yeah, it's a nice roundabout, right? Rounding out the show.
100%. Well, you were on last week, and Freddie said you have a story that led you to where you are. And you said, oh, that's a whole nother show. So we wanted to bring you back on and sort of delve into how you have so much faith and hope that everything's going to be okay, and that you can really help women and help people find their faith, lose weight, get in better health.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for having me back. I enjoyed last week, and I love being back here with you guys again today. And yeah, I know Freddie did ask me, like, well, what changed things? And I was like, oh my goodness, how much time do we have? And probably not enough time, but it actually happened only a couple of years ago when I was in college. So actually my junior year in college is when I really, really saw a shift. I mean, I grew up really as that, I'll put these in air quotes, right? As the good girl, right? I went to school and I, got good grades, and I did what my parents told me to do. And, I just kind of followed the straight and narrow, and went to church on Sunday. And, I was that good girl, but there's just some things that were in my heart that were not really okay. And it would come out like, if that button really got pushed. And I know a lot of people think that that might be okay. It's like, oh, because, your button got pushed. But there was really something in me that I knew I was just kind of living for myself. And a high school friend of mine, she went to Michigan State. I went to a school in Missouri. And we kind of met in the summertime, and we would hang out in the summer and just kind of do what college girls would do, right? And then one summer, she stayed at Michigan State, and God began to deal with her life. And, she started sharing some things with me. And I don't know, it kind of like awakened my eyes. The blinders were kind of removed. Like, I've really been living my life for me the way that I've wanted to live it. And I really have not lived in a way that I have identified with Christ being the one who died for me. And as much as I love my parents, and as much as I know that they would take a bullet for me, at least I believe they would, or whatever, they really couldn't go to the cross for me. And so I really got to contemplating, like, what does that really mean? Like, what does that really mean for someone to give their life for me? And I am just being selfish and not doing anything, in response to that, or anything to really embrace that and, help others even in the same way. And so it just began to think and kind of went on this journey. It was a short journey, but it was a journey kind of over that summer, where I was like really asking, like, man, what is my life really about? Who am I really living for? And I met a friend of mine, the friend that was in Michigan State. She connected me with a couple other people, and I went to this Bible study, and I talk about it in my book. And I really made a decision to allow, Jesus into my heart and really like live my life. And in the midst of that, I was in this relationship, this long distance relationship, because we were away for summer. But I had dated this guy pretty much all throughout college, and it was getting kind of serious. At least that's what we thought. And we had contemplated marriage after college. And after I had really made that decision and shared that with him, he kind of really wasn't on the same page. And I just kind of asked in a nonchalant way, just passing, like, God, if this is the guy for me, the man for me, whatever, like, let me know. And fast forward a little bit, I went back to school. It was the end of the summertime. I went back to school my senior year in college, and I found out that he had cheated on me. And I was like, whoa. And that wasn't necessarily a big deal. I mean, I was hurt, you're in college. I mean, you're going to have heartbreak, I guess. But the thing that spoke to me was that, I mean, God was real and that he would answer my brief little prayer that I just asked in passing. I mean, I wasn't seeking out, searching out anything. I just kind of said 3 little words or 4 words, whatever it was, and he answered my prayer. And that was what I needed at that particular time to let me know, one, that he was absolutely real and that he absolutely had a plan for me, and he would answer me as I went along this journey. And so I began to, kind of go again along the journey. And as I started living my life for Christ, I again started looking around the body of Christ and, seeing how we were not the most healthy people, even though we love God, we love the Lord, but we just were not honoring him in our temples for, everything from, bake sales, with all kinds of cakes and goodies and, things like that really aren't helping us, to fried chicken dinners and things like that. And so that got me along the direction that I'm on right now, that birthed Kingdom Power Living. But that was really the turning point, Freddie. That was the turning point when God answered my 5-word prayer, or however long it was, that one sentence, that this the one. He confirmed that it was not, and I knew then that I was on the right path.
Well, I want to bring up that because Amy's on the set today, and Amy's doing a fantastic show tomorrow, and we were talking before the show about courage, the definition of courage, what courage means to people, and your story is unique in itself, and I understand more about who she is and where you're going with this thing. And helping other people. You always said to me, White, we can't be nicer to one another and things of that nature. And it comes in different forms. Hers happens to be everybody. But here you go. Another definition of courage. Because if you can do what you're doing under the, what's the lack of a better word, thrived into this whole deal, because, people do what they do. And you know what? It's better to date than to get married for now anyway. Just saying. If you can do these things and continue your path to help others, and the key word there is helping others, that is the highest form of courage that there is. Because you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for others. And anytime you do things for others, that's courage. And there's another definition.
Yes.
So I'm going to give Amy 27 definitions for tomorrow's show.
No, I love that. I mean, that's really servant, right? Servanthood. It's about others, and it's really not about you. And I mean, there's so many directions we can go from that particular thing, but
we're going to get to that in a second, because there's a little bit about you that has to be part of the equation. But go ahead, Amy.
That's what I was going to say. You need courage to get your next step. And helping, and when you have courage, you can help others easily.
It's interesting you say that, because when you walk into this particular studio, unlike all the other studios that we've been at, there is a mirror in Studio A. And people have always asked me, why do you have... People think that mirror is there for Dawn to put on her makeup. But Dawn puts on her makeup in the back of the studio. Yes. That mirror is not there for makeup putting on. It's not even French wire because it's not to the northeast. That mirror is that when you walk into this studio, take a look at you, because courage lies within you. And the day that you see that in that mirror is the day that you figure out what we're doing wrong today. That's why that mirror is there. That mirror has been there since day one. That mirror was there before anything else we put into this studio. There's a lot of pieces in there. That was numero uno, because you can do for others. But remember, you do it because you're confident of who you are.
Very true.
And there is the courage. And there is your definition for tomorrow's show that you asked me for.
Yeah.
Because Amy is one of the artists in here who's done fantastic work. She knows everybody, but fantastic work on her show, bringing others to light. And I'm talking about some big deals. I mean, the last guy you interviewed, right, the drummer.
John Douglas, yeah, from Aerosmith.
I mean, Aerosmith. And I watched the movie last night with Aerosmith.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe it. I said, look at this.
Mom loves Aerosmith.
Oh my God.
Gotta watch Amy's show from last week.
You can meet him the end of the month. John Douglas will be at the Opal Grand at the end of the month in Delray.
And
Showing
he's
his
an
paintings.
artist.
Yeah.
So
He's an amazing artist.
So I'm going to ask Amy to call him because I like to hang some parts of his art in here. It is, sometimes the path opens because those that are successful in life, like Bazooka Man over here, open the path. And if you follow those roads because you choose to, not because you're encouraged to, but because you choose to, there's nothing but goodness that comes out at the end. Good, bad, or indifferent. Because even if you lose money, you learn something. If you gain money, we go to town. If you learn religion and you find out faith lies within you, that's always the prize. And April, you are an example, again, because today's show is about courage, getting out from underneath, looking at the sunrise, looking at the sun rise and looking at the rays, right? You got hope and you got music. And she comes with her mom, so she's giving me the double barrel
I know,
today.
you've never been here before, have you?
I think I was here when it was Little Tom Family Theater. And the sign is still out
It's
there.
still, we're waiting.
They haven't been in business for 12 years.
And we're still waiting for the sign.
We're waiting for Boca to approve it. We're waiting.
We don't have the sign yet, but it's in. Oh, as a matter of fact, I got a call. I think the engineer has it.
Beautiful what you've done.
Thank you.
And this is all, but it isn't us. None of this is us.
It's everyone.
It's everyone.
It's everyone.
You're looking at the artist. This is her. You're looking at the music that fills the place.
It's
You're looking-
actually a little bit of all of you because it's hope, it's love, and it's God, and it's
passion.
courage. It really is, because in November when we moved here, 3 months later, all the world shut down. And where we sit right now was empty. And we turned this into a studio with courage to invest, with Amy to hang her art, with the hope that it was going to be okay, and with God saying, I brought you here to Little Palm Theater with a space that you didn't know what you were going to do with for a reason. We did not know the reason, but with
we
faith,
came anyway.
with faith, we found the reason, and here we are. So it kind of wraps everything up in this beautiful little studio we call our corner of the world.
And it's funny, April, because we were signing a lease, and the landlord went crazy the day of the lease. He went completely wackadoodle, throwing things, running around. He went nuts, remember that? So we said, okay, exit, we gotta get the hell out of here. This guy's crazy. And we ended up here on the same day. Right? I mean,
In my Halloween costume, yes.
But it's maybe he didn't like that. I don't know. But it's been a journey. And then you meet a guy, and I call him Bazooka, Michael. I call him Bazooka because he makes a loud noise. His presence
But
makes
yet he
a loud
doesn't.
noise.
He's quiet. But your presence speaks volumes.
Yeah, wait till we dress him up. I'm just teasing.
Well, the object of the game is that
What are we dressing him up as?
we're taking him to Guy.
Ever been to Guy La Ferreras?
I have, yes.
So we were there today, and we want to do a whole segment, like a quick pace of Freddie and Slick. Maybe Michael join us. What you're wearing, and then Guy he dresses you up. What it's like to get out into the business world now. Things have changed, right? It's upscale, casual. It's not as formal, but you still have to get out in the workplace and make a presence.
Right.
He sizes you up real quick.
Oh my God, he
Did
put
you?
a jacket on you like nothing
And
today.
even if you have Zoom meetings, it's like as long as you're dressed from the waist up, you're fine.
But it's funny
Just
because
keep your camera from the waist up,
it's going
right?
to begin to change. The Zoom meetings are going to turn into real people meetings. And it's the ones that stay on top of the game are the ones that people, because everybody now is looking to be more specific on their investments. That's why I think that the digital artist thing is remarkable. I think that's a great idea. I think if you can capture a whole thing on this, it takes it to another level. Same thing with the digital music stuff. There's so many different parts that are being created right now, including April's, the way you have people losing weight, which is healthy. And think about this. Diabetics should be on your program ASAP.
Yes.
ASAP.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely no question about it, because what's happening is that people are getting out from underneath the stone of hiding. And you don't have to hide anymore. You just have to have courage. You got to find a way of digging deep and listening to your words and believe that tomorrow is going to be a better day, one way or another. Making money is fun. You make it fun because you have taught me something that I've shared with my son, who now shares it with my family. I didn't even know this, that they were doing all this, but you're right. It's the biggest, it's a little dabble do ya.
It's also the courage. By being able to invest in yourself, health or financial, you've got the courage to believe in yourself that, you know what? A little bit. I actually put on my story today, there's a ladder with big rungs, and then there's a ladder with little steps. And the big rungs, you might not be able to get from here to here, but you can get from here to here, and then here, and eventually, I think of you.
I've seen that photo.
You get there, right?
It's really insightful. Yeah.
It's just the little steps, a little courage. $50 or $100 a week gets me where I may be a little slower than someone who puts in 10,000.
Yeah, well,
but I get it. We're going to
you
talk
are
about
having a
that.
failure of communication.
But you know what? A little bit more water changes your weight loss. Maybe a little less cookies or sugar. Just those little steps. You don't have to change your life overnight. You don't have to turn over the rock, but you just got to crawl out from under it.
Inner core confidence, inner core strength changes everything. Everything you do from that inner core, if you believe in that, if you have that courage inside, changes everything. Everything. But you got to have it, or you got to find it, and you got to tap into that, and you got to believe it. You know, it's funny, Michael, because if Bitcoin comes down and asks you, should I get rid of it now? Nah, you know what? I'm just going to leave it alone. Maybe I get on Saturday and buy $100. Yeah, we're going to have a little communication gap here. But the bottom line is believe in what you do. Because you know what? Nobody does it better than you. That was Mama Ali's line to me from the great Muhammad Ali. Once said that. And she told me that. She whispered it in my ear. And you know something? She's right, man. Because nobody does it better than you. You know it better. Nobody sings like you. Nobody paints like you. And God help us, nobody invests like this guy over here. Even your accountant doesn't understand you. But you're not here to be understood. You're here to do. So do it, because you know you are the best at what you do.
Yeah.
April, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story.
How do people, yes.
There you go. How do people get in touch with you to lose weight, to find their courage, to lose weight?
Yes. So I love that, Freddie. I agree. I tell people all the time, your health is an investment, not an expense. So that goes along with the Bitcoin, right, and the financial investments. But you can find me anywhere on social media under Kingdom Power Living, all one word. You'll see it here, Kingdom Power Living. And you can also go to my website, which is kingdompowerliving.com, and find out more about my programs, my new book, and to see if I can assist you. I do free consultations with people, and I would love to see if I can help someone.
Thank you so much. Stay well. Stay in touch with us.
Yes.
Coach April.
Absolutely. Thank you again so
All the
much.
way from Chicago. We're going to go have a hot dog with you. No pun intended.
Talking about health and getting into shape.
But, you know, but she has the Chicago dog, man. There's nothing like that. And New York is the best.
Or the deep dish pizza. I don't know.
Deep dish. Oh,
I'm hungry now.
Let's take a commercial break. More to come with our Tuesday. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Deep dish pizza.
In these changing times, it is more important than ever for women to invest in themselves and develop a network for business growth. Through FemCity Boca del Rey, you will become a member in a group of women whose goal is to help one another with advice, tips, and guidance to connect and engage with one another. For more information and discount pricing, log into bit.ly/Brooklyn Cafe Femmes or FemCity Boca del Rey for more information. FemCity is more than a women's networking group. It's business for your soul.
Along our sun-baked beaches of Boca Raton, Florida, lies AMP2 Media. We strive to bring out rising stars and their fantastic talent into the spotlight. From music to art, we have all the tools you would need to reach that next level. AMP2 Media is proud to announce our new scoring platform for reality shows, movies, and videos. We have the ability to highlight music according to what your eyes see on the screen. Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest parts to your film. Our different sounds allows us to bring your film work to life. For more information on our new scoring platform, contact us at 866-224-5422 or just hit us up on our website, amp2media.tv. And once again, for our new scoring platform, you can contact us at our studios at 866-224-5422 or just visit our website at amp2.tv. Let Amp Media Productions bring you...
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Hi friends, it's Bree and Ali from Kids and Capes. Tune in Saturday mornings on the Brooklyn Cafe Kids Television Network at 10 o'clock, where we share fun and ideas. And remember, peace, love, and kindness.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
So I want to see, now that Michael's been on here, I want to see where Bitcoin went in the last 2 hours.
You know, we started working with Michael, it was like at 47, 48. Then over the weekend it was over 60. And now it's back in the 50s, I think, something like that. But Gemini is pretty cool because you can look at so many, oh, here's one called Chainlink, like a fence. Yes. I buy things by name. The one we bought, Freddie, we probably got to get rid of, but.
Yeah, you messed me up.
But I like the name of it. It's like when you bet on, I bet on horses, which I don't bet. In my brain, I bet. I like the name.
Am I allowed to go from...
I own some Chainlink too. I got Chainlinks.
Am I allowed to take this money and put it on something else?
Like, can you transfer it?
Okay. Well, no, I'm losing money, so there's no tax.
Yeah, we're losing on that one, Freddie.
But that was a small investment.
Yes.
That was just to fool around because of the name. But this is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, there's trading pairs of, like, there's Chainlink/ETH or Chainlink/BTC. So you could use Bitcoin as a trading pair. You don't have to sell your Bitcoin into USD in your USD wallet on Gemini and then buy Chainlink or something with the USD. You can swap it.
Swap it around?
Yeah, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are trading pairs denominated for other currencies too.
Interesting.
You get to watch what happens, how it unfolds. It's pretty cool, though.
You know,
I think the
you're-
first time I came on the show, though, was the Bitcoin in the 30,000s or no?
Yes.
It was in the 30s?
It was in the lower 30s. I think it was around 32.
Yes.
It means it had double then by over the weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend it was over 60.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, there was a big drawdown. I mean, it went from 56 or 58 back down to 43. So that was about, I think it's about a 26% correction. It's really volatile, but it's kind of got to
Now, I'm going to ask you, if
stick
I
with it.
invest $100,000 and it goes up to 200, and I take 100 out and I start back at the 100, right? If I take the 100 out
do
in
that.
cash, then you can base businesses and everything else on the surplus, and they just ride the wave on the. See, I tried to do that, but I didn't know that you were going to come and backdoor me and hang me down.
You're so competitive.
I am. I am. I don't like
You're
losing.
so. Who's losing? You just everyone invests what they can.
Really?
Yes.
I think
Every
it's
week?
important to be really patient, to not try to time an in and out and highs and lows, and just have very long-term time horizons. Especially in this market, it's still a new market. So, as a $1 trillion market cap right now, gold has a $9 trillion market cap. Stock market worldwide is a $30 trillion market cap. So this market's very young, still maturing. I think it's a little past crawling to walk, but it's a toddler,
Yeah, but you've been
We're
in
the
it
bottom
since-
of the third inning.
Yeah, but you've been in it since it was a fetus.
Here's the deal, though. You can't let the price trick you into thinking you've missed it. Because at the end of the day, Bitcoin's a payments network. So you have to think of the user base in terms of the growth of it. If you look at the price, you're going to kind of delude yourself and you know what I'm saying? You're
It's not
going to
even
make
the-
yourself
right,
think
it's-
I missed
It's
it.
not even the price. It's that I know she's investing more than me.
No, God.
That's the problem.
You know what?
But
You
listen, I
told us
real-
a story though about a guy that was investing $30 a week.
Yes.
And that story sat with me. I told you, reminded me of my grandma that used to say you needed
Correct.
mad money and you should put $20 a week away in your wallet and just tuck it away in case of emergency. So you made me think of this $30 a week. So I'm like 30, 50, okay.
Yeah.
By the end of something, maybe I have something more.
That $50 a week can add up, and over the course of a year, if you do the 52 weeks in a year times $50 a week, it'll keep accumulating and accumulating, and then the market's gonna go up as well, and you're gonna be satisfied, And I mean the strategy is called cost averaging. You cost average in, you just ignore the price, whether it's up, down. You just $50 a week.
Yeah, but the difference here is that I sort of like to keep an even keel with this one. So she's here.
Freddie's an
And
overthinker.
Now I'm looking.
You believe
I don't
this?
even care
Ingrid,
about the
really?
damn
Dawn
price.
is so simple. Yeah, Freddie's
I'm
an
like, this is
overthinker.
fun. I can afford this. I can do it. No other thought than that. That's the one
She's
thing. It's
keeping
like
it simple.
simple.
Freddie's a little too smart. You're
You're analyzing it.
We're gonna have a little chit chat after the show. And
You
then she
know-
comes out here. She hasn't said this to me since day one. Not a word. And I see her on the phone.
It's a little dangerous because you can go just like that because it's so easy. These apps make it so easy
Yeah.
to buy.
Yeah.
Real quick though, Freddie, what I did want to say, there was a statistic though came out a couple weeks ago. The actual number of active users worldwide using Bitcoin, they're comparing it to the internet in 1997. So when you think of it like that, it's still very early. I think for this entire sector, it's very, very early.
And people are writing in, how do they get involved? What app? Where should they use?
Yeah, so I suggest U.S. regulated apps. Gemini.
I suggest you listen to the seminar we're putting on.
We'll do that
That's what I
too.
suggest. And coming soon, I suggest you listen to this guy because we want to put him on the air to do it this way. I think that you should do it the right way from the beginning. Amy has never heard of this before. She's a good example of doing this correctly. I'm not giving this away with 10 minutes ago in the show. Hey, you have to come back.
No, come on.
You see how I'm talking about? You
Gotta
guys
help.
got.
But I want people to use a right app.
No,
I
listen.
want people to
there-
do this
yeah,
intelligently.
there's a lot. There's a lot of misconceptions with Bitcoin and crypto. There's a lot of, unfortunately, scams with anything. But I would suggest Gemini. That's owned by the Winklevoss twins. Those are the original people that thought of Facebook. Guys are geniuses. So they own the Gemini exchange based in Manhattan. Coinbase, San Francisco-based exchange. Those are both U.S. regulated, safe, secure, all that. So Gemini, Coinbase. Another one is called Binance US. You can get some of the smaller altcoins.
Well,
on
people
there.
are asking me, are you for hire for a seminar? I tell you. They want to know, when is a seminar? They want to know, are you for hire?
Listen, I love money, but I do this for free, man.
He does. He does everything for free.
I
But you
make
know
a good
something?
living with my business, and I do this for free. And I think I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think when people are genuine about stuff, people trust it more. And I really believe that. So there's a lot of people on Twitter that have what's called paid groups, and you can pay subscriptions monthly. But I do it for free. It's my passion. I want to help people. I believe in it. And I think people can be, successful financially from it. So
Now, you have another business. Are we allowed to talk about that?
we can.
Yeah. So tell us about the other business.
For a living, I do insurance. I own an insurance agency, South Florida based. More of a call center, though. It's not really in person. But we service the country, private insurance, ACA, Obamacare plans. I have several call center locations. And yeah, so.
You sell products?
Yeah, we have contracts with insurance carriers. From, again, private insurance, Blue Cross, Cigna, Aetna, ACA, Obamacare, Molina, Oscar. I'm appointed, I'm licensed with, mostly every major carrier. And then as far as my agency, we have certain commissions contracts with carriers. People Google search and look.
So are you a
for insurance
1-800
over the internet.
for companies, or are you selling products to the general public?
Oh, we service retail. We service average Joes like me and you.
New clients too?
Yeah. So basically, people are Google searching over the internet, maybe affordable health insurance or Obamacare quote. They call in. My sales agents are giving them a quote, and I'm pushing them to sell. And that's how we make a living.
What's the phone number?
Customer service phone number is 855-700-2395. That'll go to customer service department, though. We're partnered with marketing affiliates that do all the Google, marketing. People call in, we'll sell them the policy, and then, so we're more of a brokerage or agency compared to the actual carrier, like a Blue Cross that's underwriting the plan and paying out claims, of course.
He's shy talking about his business.
He does, it's about serving the community, and his business is growing, which is great. And people need insurance. And I think right now, you don't have to take it. You just pay the penalty, right? Because I guess Obamacare got.
There's
to a
no more
point where-
penalty. I think only in the state of New Jersey, if I'm correct. But look, and President Biden just announced a new special enrollment period too.
I heard about that.
So you can go right on healthcare.gov, and you can get an ACA Affordable Care Act plan. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to call my agency.
Yeah, but somebody needs to explain it.
Oh, it's a very regulated, licensed industry. If someone's going to answer the phone on healthcare.gov that's just knowledgeable and licensed, and
Then why call you? What's the benefit?
there's no benefit. There's no difference.
Because you
It's
get
just a
great
service.
customer service.
Yeah,
Well, you had it last year, and there are changes this year.
I don't know. I don't come on here to push my.
I know we're going to talk about
product.
Bitcoin.
I push Bitcoin.
We push everything.
You push it. We're going to.
Because he's very knowledgeable. I mean, I know that he's a little bit shy.
But it's investments, it's money, it's learning to have the courage to believe in yourself and say,
Well,
I can spend
that word
word courage, $50 a week if I want to, have faith. And the interesting thing was she was talking, April just said a quote, and it went in and out. And as soon as she said it, Teddy comes running out, she goes, I just posted that on another post. She goes, how did that even happen? She goes, I just put it out there. But that is how the universe speaks.
You know, and I wanted to ask the ladies, the Grammys just happened.
Yes.
Now, you know, I'm 58. I've seen my number of Grammys in my life. This one was unlike anything I've ever seen in my life, including the music, the message, and everything else. So I want to ask you, ladies, where do you see music going? I mean, if you look at the way it's going right now, I mean, what's her name? They got the 28 Grammys.
Beyonce.
Yeah, poor Beyonce. Where's music going? And I guess she'll tell you because every time she turns around, she wins another award. But I wanted to ask you, where do you see music going?
I mean, like, do you want the honest
Yes,
opinion?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Just asking because everyone's, you know, sensitive these days.
I'm not politically correct. You can tell me
Okay.
anything you want.
So the Grammys this year, I didn't even care to tune in. I honestly, I don't like the way that music is right now. It's way too agenda based. There's way too much political symbolism happening within music. It's sad that a lot of the powers that be have utilized celebrities, musicians to push and use these figures as mouthpieces to push an agenda, basically. Whereas it's not really music anymore. It's just
politics.
It's blatant politics. There's so much. I mean, the Grammys used to be an award show to highlight and commemorate excellence within music, and I just don't see excellence happening. The fact that WAP was the song of the year is disgusting to me. It's and yet we're canceling innocent things like Potato Head, Pepe Le Pew, Cartoon Network,
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, and yet you have basically Cardi B and whoever that other, you know, rapper or person is, basically scissoring each other on the Grammy stage. It's like, how is this becoming?
Well, let me ask you a question then.
And WAP, they couldn't even play the words because
But hold
you
on.
couldn't
But let
play
me
the
ask you a
words.
question, and again, courage. I applaud your honesty because I felt the same way. Let me ask you this question then: is it because the Grammys feel politically they have to be sensitive, and they're afraid of doing exactly what it was meant to do, which is to illustrate art, music? So they want the political way to take some of this. Because they got criticized. The Oscars got criticized. Everybody gets criticized if you don't do certain things a certain way.
Yeah, it's basically like if you don't play by the rule book, by our rules, we will cancel you and we will get basically we will ruin your opportunities. And that's just not how our country is supposed to be. I mean, art is supposed to be free thinking and free ideas. And when you're told to create within a box, within limitations, then it's not art anymore. It's just, how can we utilize your platform to push an agenda to control more people?
You know, it's funny you say that because politically correct was a word that has become stronger than the end product. So you would take away different things just to be politically correct. Like Pepe Le Pew, we were making fun of that yesterday. I remember growing up with Pepe Le Pew, and I found it funny. I never thought that it was chasing women in a certain way, like Cuomo up in New York or whatever the hell else he's doing. I never looked at it that way. You know, I never looked at Dr. Seuss. I didn't even understand Dr. Seuss, to be honest with you. I was a Rican. I didn't understand English. And here is Dr. Seuss, Mother Goose, and all this other stuff. And I used to tell my sister, it doesn't even make sense. And they're taking it away.
I found the Grammys so limited. I was looking for more, you know, and there's so much talent out there, but we didn't get to see the other side of it. Everything was like what Kendra said, it was one-sided.
But there was a
the
lot
whole
of
thing.
anger in the Grammys.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was all just completely one-sided. I mean, the song of the year was "I Can't Breathe." Why do we have to bring that like back into the play?
I think they want to be sensitive to what's going on.
Maybe that could be
us.
people's choice and maybe not the Grammys. Maybe there's another platform if you want to acknowledge that.
Because the winners have already been chosen by the powers that be.
Right.
Correct.
The winners, there's so much, there's politics and then there's politics within the music industry.
And then there's politics within that industry.
Yeah.
I think we've been seeing it in award shows the last few years, all these major award shows. And I think Hollywood is extremely out of touch with reality.
But Major League Baseball,
they live within their own little bubble.
But Major League Baseball now is contemplating going to a 16-team playoff. Remember that time you and me
That's
got
a
into
good
an
thing.
argument on the air? Because you said every kid should get a trophy?
Yes.
And I said, why? Then why do this, right? So Major League Baseball Association said no. They don't want to have 16 teams because not everybody should make the playoffs. It isn't fair.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
69 teams make the madness because they said there was schools and a lot of them should have been and wouldn't been. So now they went to say college football. Now they do the top 4 teams to get no one. It's the same thing with music. The problem that I see is exactly what you're pointing out. Even in basketball, the halves sort of dictate the policy of what's going on.
No, they just have too much
in the
power,
industry.
and they just push a certain. She's absolutely dead on. They push a certain agenda. They have too much power. They push an agenda, and then I just don't understand. Music used to be so different when I was a kid, man.
And you guys
Watching
are young.
the Grammys.
You're young.
Yeah.
It was way different when I was a kid.
I used to love watching the Grammys when I was a kid. I remember when, 1994, Smashing Pumpkins, man, Tonight, that swept the VMAs. Like, it wasn't politicized, Now everything's just politicized now.
There's neutrality does not exist anymore. Even with Bill Burr hosting the show, when the Latino awards were being given out, it was predominantly a lot of males were winning it, and he just threw out a joke because that's what comedians do. He said, oh, well, all these feminists are probably getting offended that all these men are winning, and so that caused a big conundrum, and then they started calling him racist where his spouse is black. So it's crazy.
You can't say anything.
You
without
can't say
saying the wrong
anything.
thing.
Yeah.
He said there was the MC said something that they were outside. It was the first time the Grammys were held outside. Okay, he says, and we're outside, and it's kind of nice to be able to be outside and not be in Washington being attacked at the Capitol building, and people got bent on that because he said
Right, because
that.
that did need to be said, in
Well,
our
but
opinion.
again, he thought he can get away with it.
Well, he did.
Well, did he?
Well, there's things, what do you get away with, and then what's appropriate? And then when you're in the public eye, we talked about this, I know we got to wrap this up. Once all the teachers start getting vaccinated, does that mean you don't wear a mask anymore? Or because the kids look up to you to set an example, are you deemed at a higher standard? And we talked about that this morning. What you can get away with and what's okay, acceptable, versus when you're in the public eye and at a different standard, what is ethically and morally correct to do. So that's a whole nother conversation. These two should do a show.
Well, Napoleon said, if you don't learn from history, you are bound to repeat it. Right. And he talked about that about Waterloo, where he lost his whole everything. And if we don't learn from our mistakes, we're going to do it again. This time, what is it, 473,000 lives? This time it may cost over 1 million lives. You're going to have to wise up. There's politically correct and then there's correct. And I think that the two somewhere have to find a balance. But the music industry, from what I saw from the Grammys, I wondered, what happened to the music? If I wanted to be angry and say words, and I understand, and this is not about being right or wrong, I'm not talking about that on the work, but what happened to the body of work?
Well, that's why Kendra's song, the Song of Hope, is just spectacular. You guys got to check that out. The music of
Thank
Kendra
you.
Erica. More to come with that. Thank you so much for joining us. Ingrid, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Amy,
I didn't realize I was going to be
Michael.
on. I would have had my hair and makeup done.
Oh,
Jay.
I'm tell you, well, get used to it because I got an idea I'm going to throw at you. You're going to be on the line.
Okay.
There's more to come. Have a great Tuesday, everyone. Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
Sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can pick in every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna stay. And craters, open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche, helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that gleams across my